What's up, everybody? Noah Kisser back here for the review for 50 Shades Freed. 50 Shades Freed. I actually don't mind the 50 Shades movies. I find them to be guilty pleasures. But as a critic, are they bad movies? Oh, yeah. They are bad. 50 Shades of Grey. Anastasia Steele goes to meet Christian Grey and interview him for her friend because she's sick for 5 minutes in the movie. And then they make out, they have sex, he whips her 6 times, and then she leaves. 50 Shades Darker ends, or I'm sorry, 50 Shades of, my God, 50 Shades Darker starts, and she's at a art sale place. She's at an art show. That's what's called, an art show. And Christian Grey buys all of her paintings and art shit. Takes her out to get some food. Says, I want you back. She says, okay. Like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden, they start having sex again. Her now former employer named Jack starts coming on to her. She's not having it. Christian Grey gets pissed, buys the company. They have sex again. He gets in a plane crash. He proposes to her, and now this is where the movie starts. 50 Shades Freed is all about Christian Grey and Anastasia Grey now. No longer Anastasia Steele, but we'll get to that part. Anastasia and Christian Grey start off in this movie with a wedding montage showing them getting married, and then it shows them on their honeymoon. Christian Grey puts suntan lotion on Anastasia, unties her bikini, and she says, how about I just go topless? She tells him, just take the whole thing off. He says, you're showing enough as it is. You're showing enough as it is? But there's about $150 million worth of people who are here just to see her, and you get it on. Now, the movie officially begins when they start having problems. Like, he walks in, bitches and moans, and says, why haven't you changed your name on the computer to Anastasia Grey instead of Anastasia Steele? Then they have sex again. She gets pregnant. Jack gets involved again, and her best friend and Christian Grey's brother get engaged. There's one thing I don't understand about this movie. Where did her friend go? Where did her friend go? Seriously, where did her friend go? He was in the first two. The one who just loved her. Where was he in this movie? Did the actor get fired? Did they not want to recast? Was he not in the last book? As far as I can remember, he was in the last book. 50 Shades Freed is all about the sex scenes. Were they sexy? Not at all. If you do everything right in a comedy, if you do everything wrong in a comedy, it's fine if you make me laugh. It is fine if you make me laugh. That makes it a success. In a romance movie like this, if you can't make the sex scenes sexy, or at least great and not boring to look at, then you fail at your job. And also the green screen is bad in one of the green screen scenes. There's a green screen scene where they're doing a car chase. And I could tell it was terrible green screen. There's no way that they were driving on a real road. It couldn't have been. And if it was, then wow, that was terrible camera shots. Apparently, a car chase can make you horny, according to Anastasia. It can make you horny, apparently. Whatever. There is one scene where I was like, oh wow, Dakota Johnson really does look great in that. And it was the gray dress. The gray silk dress. I'm like, wow. I didn't think they would go that far with the dress. But of course, it's 50 Shades Freed. It's the 50 Shades series. It's an R-rated softcore porn for middle-aged women and teenagers who are looking for a cheap date. And for a cheap good time afterwards. The acting, well, Jamie Dornan is still a wooden character. He can't act worth a shit in these. And Dakota Johnson can be good. She was actually pretty good in the first 50 Shades. She got worse in the second one. And in this one, she is just wooden. She is there to be something great to look at. She's there to look at. She's there to try and make you feel like there's something wrong. And make you feel sorry for her. But it just doesn't work because of the script. And I'm not saying that these actors are always bad. No, it's due to the screenplay. The screenplay is absolutely terrible. It has some of the cheesiest dialogue. Like in the 50 Shades Darker movie, Christian Grey tells, what's her name? I'm blanking on her name, but I can see her right now. He says, you taught me how to fuck, but she taught me how to love. I'm like, oh my god. Are you kidding me? That is some of the cheesiest dialogue. And then another cheesy line in this movie is, I will always be here for the baby. I will always be here for the baby. If it's not after she... I'm not going to spoil it. Let's just say that Kate gets taken. I believe her name's Kate. When Kate gets taken by Jack, something happens and she needs $5 million to get Christian Grey's sister back. Okay, but you are not furthering the story anymore. You're basically making this movie as long as you possibly can, because without her, what does this plot even go to? Does this movie even have a plot without this? Without this? I don't think so. This is pretty much a movie about two attractive people having sex. And it is outrageously obvious that they're trying to pull off something unimaginable. How real does that ring look? If you can actually see it. I don't think you can. Sorry, Alexa's going to say something. There you go. Whatever. I saw a review that said there was only 5 sex scenes. I'm like, are you kidding me? There was the ice cream scene, which was partially sexy for the first minute. And then, the thing that pisses me off the most, they disregard one of the most douchey things that he did in 50 Shades Darker, where he took lipstick and he says, these are my boundaries. These are my boundaries. And he goes to the side of his pec, down to his belly button, and then to the other side, and he says, these are my boundaries. You can't touch me here. Everywhere else is fine. What does she do? She touches his nipples. And I get it. They're married now. But you made such a big deal about it. A big deal. You can't touch my nipples. Okay. Then continue that in the damn next movie. This movie pissed me off. But I can actually sit down and watch this one as a fan of the franchise, and not as a critic. As a critic, I gotta do these little nitpick things. 50 Shades Darker, or I'm sorry, 50 Shades Freed is an atrocious piece of garbage that I will watch again because I am actually a fan of these movies, but as a critic, I have a reason to be pissed. These are guilty pleasures. These are the Showgirls. Showgirls is the so bad it's good movie of all time to me. I know for most people it's The Room, but for me it's Showgirls and the 50 Shades movies. I'm going to give 50 Shades Freed an F. Wasn't a decently shot movie? Yes, but that is it. If you put two attractive people on a television screen, like in that 70s show, when you put Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher on the screen, of course you're going to be like, oh wow, Mila Kunis is hot. But that doesn't mean that two attractive people in a well-shot movie gives you a great movie. You need to have a good story. If it has sex in it, you need to make the sex scenes at least worth it being there. And they're pretty racy for a rated R. These movies push the R limit as sex scenes. Yeah. So, 50 Shades Freed. On to the next February 9th movie, and that is Peter Rabbit. And then after that, I will be seeing The Greatest Showman, and I will have reviews for those tomorrow. As always, guys, if you liked the video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you didn't, well, I'm so sorry, but you clicked on something. But if you please like the video, leave a comment down below, subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next time.